So this is the second video I spoke I was gonna do. If you watched the first video I have made, I'm following through doing the second video. So this idea of the true God is also included on this video, but it is a different way of thinking. So to this idea, if you are a Christian and if you are going through suffering, is probably rationally thinking. So we are not talking about spiritual thinking here, if I could use that term, spiritual thinking. We are speaking here about rational thinking, which we are leading most of the time on this life. But if you are suffering, if your suffering is deep and long, as has been my case, this idea here may bring you some comfort, as this idea has brought to me also. I want to present you the idea of two different profiles, Christian profiles. Okay, the first profile I want to bring to you to understand my example is a profile that's under grace. What do I mean by that? That's a profile that until he realizes he's sinning, or he is wrong, or be proved he's wrong, or be forced to understand he's wrong, or even get the consequences of being wrong, to understand that he's going to think he's right. So that person is different from the second profile, because the second profile do not believes he believes he needs to learn first, and if he needs to learn first, until the point that he got the lesson, he is going to be wrong. He's going to feel shame and guilt and carry that weight. And guilt and shame, as we know, is a feeling. By the very definition, as a negative feeling, it can be very painful. I have experienced that my entire life. So if you are under grace, the first profile, you have that tendency. I don't think I'm wrong. I'm free to do whatever I do, and I believe I can do until the point that I realize I'm wrong, without feeling any dissonance, cognitive dissonance. So I believe that from that profile comes different types of people. I believe that from that profile come the graceful people, the people who are honored, who has honor and grace. So are the people who really triumph, are the people who really succeed, as the people who are really blessed and makes a positive difference on this world. But I also believe that from that same belief comes a very negative profile, that will believe that they are right for so long, wrongly right, that they will cause harm to the world. Because of that understanding, they do not fear being wrong, teaching wrong, and by that they can cause so much wrong on the world, because they have the faith. Faith is belief on the thing without any evidence. They are ignorant faith, and by that they can create a dismissive thing that are gonna cause a lot of trouble in the world, because they don't feel guilt. They think they are right. So, and the second profile, which it is my case, they get in suffering for so long they cannot understanding, but we know as Christians we are on this path, And why do I keep, why cannot get rid of it, why I persist, why my mind keeps, why am I as I am, why I can't succeed, why everything goes wrong, why everything is a war, why am I so isolated, why I got in so much suffering even with my family. So it is because if we root, if we go to the root of that thinking, we are going to understand that as a child we learned to think that way. You are wrong, you are wrong, you are wrong, we're criticized. So it's tendencies to us to think that it came from the family, and by that a curse, probably curse, because I have suffered, but I know that my parents had suffered much more. It's not that they are happy and I am unhappy. It's a different case. I believe there exists that case too, but my case, I know that I have suffered a lot, but my parents had suffered even more, and they still suffer. Even though they are the very reason, rationally thinking, I think are responsible for my suffering. They have made me go through so many things, and I responsibilize them for that. Even though I love them, even though that everything that I want is they change. As I want to change, I want they to change. I want to be transformed as I want them to be transformed. So the root of that thought is we feel guilt since very early on, and guilt is a result of thinking you are wrong, or be forced to think that I am wrong. And by learning that pattern, I'm always wrong. So what we do when we are wrong on life, we come to the talk that we need to learn. On learning, we are going to learn the truth and not be wrong any longer. So, but the mind who needs to learn will never learn. The mind who needs to learn doesn't know. The mind who is trying are never able. So, but that mind, as in my case, think I will be wrong until I am sure I'm doing right. And by the fruits you are be proven. But by the fruits I cannot prove that I am right yet. So I'm always wrong. Always wrong. Lack of confidence. Lack of to experience the grace of God, the true God, which I spoke on the first video. So until the point that I am sure that I have learned, that I got that experience, the lack of faith, see? The first one go to faith, believing they are right until they are proved they are wrong. The second profile believe they are wrong until they are proved they are right. And by results, by the fruits, it should be proven. And that, so you get that conditioning, that suffering conditioning, that you need to be right, and by that you are always wrong. And obviously, by being wrong, you are the very first one who think you are wrong, so the world will also say you are wrong. And we know what the right thing is. The right thing is love, is kindness, is all the fruits of the Holy Spirit. So don't be tempted to do wrong by that. You are not always right. To be right, you need to understand what's right. But you cannot put yourself under a burden of the second profile also. So the first profile is probably right, and you should lead yourself by that grace. just not to be dismissive by that, because by that also you're gonna come the arrogant profile, the dismissive profile that's gonna cause a lot of harm to the world. Don't be that person. Don't be that thinking. Don't be that thinker. But don't be the second profile also, the profile who is under the course of believing that until they are right, they have this negative fate. They have fate, they have opposite fate against themselves. I am wrong until I prove, I have enough results to prove that I am right. That's a type of faith. That's a belief. A faith is a believing that there are not root behind of it. There are not explanation behind it. There are not justification behind it. It's just a belief. You got the belief. You got that talk from somewhere. Do you see who we are? We are a flash of attention. We are a flash of attention. This is what we are. We are where talks comes to us, and on the vibration that we get, we harmonize ourselves with some classes of thoughts, and everything is true. The good is true, the bad is true, the negative is true, the positive is true, the dark, the white is true, the black is true. Everything is true. If you can go for any path, you are going to prove it's true. So this is why God says to us, don't be in the middle of the path, or be yes or no. Be hot or cold, but do not stay in the middle. It's not good for you. So I hope you got this understanding, because if you got this second profile, you as me will be probably suffering for a long time. I'm suffering for a long time. I don't know what is this mystery. I don't know what is going to happen. I pray a lot to be free, to be transformed, but for some reason it still did not happen. And I know I'm gonna know when it happened. So I hope this word find a place on your heart, not placed by my message, but I pray and I ask that God give you the right understanding from this video. I am not a person who speaks that much. I'm a very isolated person. Most of my talking is on my inside of my own head, and I don't know how to speak. I don't know how to express. I have a lot of trouble to that. But I desire that you have been able to understand what I meant on this video, and God will make His work to give you the right understanding from this video. I thank you for watching this video, and I ask God to bless you. Thank you.